Hi, this is Rachelle with Scrapcraftastic, and I am back to do part two of our ephemera storage folio. I'm preparing to stain the fabric because I want to reinforce the folded areas of the folio with fabric. And I'm also going to stain and dye this seam binding and that I'm going to use for the closure. So I'm using some distress stain. I think I have espresso and I don't remember the other color, but I will list them in the description box below. This fabric is a cotton fabric. It's fairly thick and I've never done this before with this fabric, so I'm kind of just feeling my way through. And after I put the fabric in the stain that I put on my craft mat, it didn't soak into the fabric like I expected it to. So I'm spraying it with water and moving it around, trying to cover and saturate the entire piece of fabric with the stain, and also trying not to stain my fingers at the same time. And I'm just tossing the seam binding in here to get that going. Checking my hands and seeing that, yeah, I have stain all over my fingers. So I have some tweezers here to help me move the seam binding around in the distress stain. And I'm just going to put that off to the side. It soaked it up fairly easily because the seam binding is thin. But this fabric is pretty heavy duty. So it's taken a minute. And the next time I do this, I will definitely soak the fabric in water first and then put it in the stain. I think that I would get quicker results, easier results. I wouldn't have to work so hard to get the color into the fabric. But I do think it came out nice for a first try. So I'm just taking some paper and index cards and picking up the excess stain and trying to soak up some of the moisture from the fabric. And I didn't, I think I probably put too much stain down on the mat, so I don't want to waste any of that. And again, I'm using index cards to soak up what I can. And these will be some mixed media tags sometime in the future. So you will be seeing these again. We'll do some mixed media tags with these. And I have so many tags partially completed. Maybe I'll just do a series on making tags, mixed media tags, all different types of tags. So I'm still soaking up, trying to get every little bit of that stain up because these Tim Holtz distress products are not cheap. So I want to get as much use out of them as I possibly can. So I think I have soaked up everything I can out of the fabric, and now I'm just working on getting the stain off of the mat. So I put all of these things away to dry. And I'm just taking one last piece of paper to get up as much as possible, whatever is left. And we'll do some type of mixed media, something with these papers that just have the stain on them. Okay, so back to the folio. I didn't think to show the full piece of fabric after it dried, but these strips that you see here are strips from that fabric. I just tore it into strips, and I'm using them on the spine areas of the folio to reinforce the folds. Because this is paper cardstock, folding in and out, back and forth, back and forth can wear out the paper. So I wanted to reinforce it. This is not necessary. This is just something that I chose to do. And if you choose to do it, you can do it with washi tape. You can do it with duct tape. It can be done with just regular masking tape. Any number of things you can use to do this. You could use lace instead of fabric. Not much of it will show in the end, but it will be there to reinforce those spine areas. So I'm going to do it on the outside and on the inside, and I'm using 3-in-1, which is similar to Fabri-Tac because this is fabric on paper. And I left the frayed edges at the tops and bottoms where I'm putting these. I kinda like that look because I do junk journals, even though this isn't really a junk journal type project. I still kinda like that feel to it, so I left the little frayed edges peeking out at the top and the bottom. I could have cut them longer and folded them over so that wouldn't show, but I like the look, like I said. Just reinforcing with those strips on the inside. I did let this dry before I started folding, but here I am folding those creases again just to make sure everything is glued down and is going to fold like it should. And I was just checking my finger there to make sure none of the stain was coming off, even though these are dry. I just wanted to make sure that there wouldn't be any extra stain coming out. So here I've taken some of the pieces that we cut off when this was originally assembled, and I am going to use them to create a join for the two of the pockets. So I'm going to use these join pieces for two pockets, and they do have another name. And if I could think of the other name, I will put it on the screen. But what I did is cut these, I think they are 1 inch by 3 inch. I will put the exact measurements in the description box below. And then I'm scoring them at 1/2 inch, and I made 4 of them from the scraps left over from the original folio base. Now I'm folding where the score is, and then I'm going to use scissors to miter the ends. And again, we're going to use this for two pockets, and then we're just going to make two plain pockets. Adding these to the pocket gives the pocket more room. It's not as tight, and you get the full use of the width of the pocket. So here I am just going to glue down one side of this piece to the two pockets in the center. So I'm going to use these on the two pockets in the center, and I'm only putting glue on one side. So here I am adding this flap, and then I'm going to add the one to the other side. And we're not gluing the pockets closed yet because we need to put our cover papers on. So we're just working on the base and getting everything ready. And here I'm doing the other pocket. Just making sure everything is still going to fold the way it should. Now again, you do not have to do the fabric spines, covered spines. You could even use another piece of craft cardstock to do that. So here I am going to go ahead and add the seam binding closure. I'm using some artist tape, but I decided that I should probably glue this down first and then put the tape over it just for reinforcement. So I'm using the 3-in-1 again to glue down the seam binding right in the center of where I want my closure to be. And that's actually the front cover. Then I'm going to do the same thing on the back. put down a little glue, place the seam binding in the center, and cover it with the artist tape. Again, you can use whatever tape you have, and really you don't have to use a tape. I just want to make sure nothing falls apart, and I want everything to be sealed and as tight as possible. So this is our base with the closures on and the reinforced spines. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. If you didn't see part 1, check it out. I'll put a link in the iCard up above. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.